Have you ever wondered why our dogs and cats stretch when they first get up? And for that matter, you do too. And it's usually accompanied by a good yawn. Have you ever wondered about that? Well, it has a name. It's called pandiculation. Pandiculation is a stretching from the inside out. So think about that. It's not just forcing the movement. It's a stretch from the inside out. It's a stretch for the nervous system. It's waking up the nervous system. It's to get you ready to be fully engaged for your day, or chasing that ball across the yard for the pets. Anyway, that's what it's called, pandiculation. I thought that was kind of interesting. Engaging the nervous system, waking it up, stretching it from the inside out. I'm Jan, this is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home, and today it's more than just yoga. Every day our practices are different. Today we call it Yoga Plus. Yoga Plus, what's the plus? It's Barre, it's Pilates, it's weights. I'm certified in all. I've put together these sequences to make them work well for you as you practice from your own home. It's a 1 hour long practice. You gonna stretch for me? Yeah, a little bit. It's a 1 hour long practice. It's a 1 hour long practice, and stick around for the whole hour. If you can't do the whole hour, totally fine. Give yourself permission to say, I'm going to do it for 10 minutes. That's all you have to do. Give yourself permission. Say, I'm going to do it for 10% of the practice. I'm going to do one of these poses. I'm going to take it to a lesser percentage. Just do. But whatever you do, make sure it's right for your body. The bottom of the screen says, do what's right for your body. Always do what's right for your body. All of us have different bodies. All of us can do different things. Every day is different too. Every day is different in your body. Sometimes this aches or that aches. Honor it, respect it. Don't push it to the point of hurting yourself. Every day is different for you, and every day is different in our practices. Our practices are different every single day. Some days we do just yoga, some days it's restorative, some days it's a vinyasa flow, but all of the practices are put together to make us get more movement into our day, to feel better in our bodies, to explore that full range of motion, so you can be all that you can be. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Send us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. I'm happy. We finally passed 500 subscribers. And to me, that's a big deal. And I thank you for making that happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So, word to think about as you practice. Embody this. The word is courage. Courage is the quality of mind or spirit that enables us to face things. Maybe coming to your yoga practice for the first time, maybe just getting out of bed some days. It takes courage. So take that big good morning stretch, your pandiculation, take that stretch, get out of bed, face your day, get into the game, and your movements will help you do that. All right, so you're gonna need some props today. Lots of props, but you don't have to have any of them, all right? So you just gotta start. Okay, so the ball. This is called a bender ball. Lots of different balls like this online. They're a very thin membrane, and you don't inflate them all the way. You just inflate them so they're squishy, because what you're doing here is creating an unstable surface, and we'll have more of that in a little bit. A couple of hand weights. I've got light ones. They're 3 pounds each. If you don't have those, grab a couple cans from your pantry. Just don't drop them on your feet. A couple water bottles, something, just something to have a little resistance, because the older we get, the more we have to lift weights to keep our bone density, to stay strong, to stay mobile and in the game. All right, a little strap if you want to use that today. I'm not specifically using it, but a belt from your robe would work too. I've got a little hand towel, everybody's got that, and an eye shade. Eye shades, yoga eye shades are great. They have a little bit of weight to them, they're wonderful. A little hand towel can double as it, or to put under your knees when we do our lunges. 2 yoga blocks, buy them. They're not very expensive, because you're going to commit to you, to your better health and coming to your practice every day. All right, some water and let's go. All right, so come on up to standing. First thing we're going to do is warm up our body. Think of like the cats and dogs, the good morning stretch. Think of your good morning stretch when you get out of bed, how you stretch deeply. As you come on up to standing, lock a number in your head, a stress number. We call it a stress number, in that on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, like when you go to the doctor's office, frowning face to smiley face, where are you right now? Give it a number, a quantifiable number, so when you come back to it at the end, that's our way of measuring how we've calmed down and how we've just really gotten into our bodies and just let the outside world go. All right, here's the deal. Confident stance is our first pose today. Send your feet a little wider than your hips. Place your hands on your hips. Send your shoulders back and down. Oh, even that just feels good. Move your shoulders. You know, there's no rules here. You do this your way. You're rooted into your feet. Lift your chest up nice and high. So kind of like taking a Superman or Superwoman stance, superhero stance. All right, how's that? Breathe. Take a big breath in through your nose. And a sighing breath out through your mouth. Make it audible. Let it go. All right, you're rooted into your feet. Have a chair nearby if you want, or a countertop nearby so you can have some balance if you need it. No big deal. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Let's start with our foundation, your feet. You got to have a strong foundation and build upon that. Press on up to the balls of your feet, lifting your heels right behind your feet. Try not to let them splay out or in. Keep them strong and lifted. Think of a string from your heels going straight up to the sky. And get it into your head. I can do this. I can do this. Yes, I can. I am here. I'm not giving up. I'm taking a fresh start. I've got courage inside. I can do it. Because you can do it. Yes, you can. No matter what age you are, no matter what condition you're in, you can do this practice because you modify it. That's the key. Modify it to make it work for you. All right. Lifting out of your toes. You're strengthening your ankles. You're waking up your feet. Your feet got a grip into the mat. You're strengthening your ankles. You're strengthening your quads. You're strengthening your calves. It's all waking up. And you're getting better at balancing. That's important. All right, have you had enough yet? You got that chair engaged with you already? Breathe. All right, let's finish up. Come on down to your feet. Flat feet, now lift your toes up. Give your toes a wiggle. Plant your feet nice and solid. Maybe you want to bring your feet in a little bit. I don't know, everybody's different. Make it work. Lift your arms up to the sky. Think of that good morning stretch that you take. Think of the stretch that your pets take. And as you lift in this, what's called an extended mountain pose, reach through your fingers. Chest is lifted. Think of what we said earlier. Stretching from the inside out. What does that really mean? Take a deep stretch. Think of the stretch. Think of what you've got inside of you and then lengthen up through your fingertips. Breathe in. Sigh it out. As you sigh it out, soften your shoulders a little bit. And then interlace your fingers, palms up to the sky. We need some palm trees in our lives. We need some Florida sunshine. Let's sway from side to side. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're swaying from side to side. You're moving your spine sideways. That's lateral flexion of your spine. You're moving it sideways because we move our spine in 4 different ways to wake it up. You can have a bend in your elbows if that's a modification that feels better for you. And just sway from side to side. Feel that big good stretch. You know, you are capable of overcoming lots of adversity. People are strong. People are resilient. You are strong. You are resilient. You're bendy. You're stretchy. You're flexible. All right. Finish up in this lateral flexion of the spine. Take your hands to your low back, palms face down, fingers pointing down, palms on your hips, shoulders, elbows back. Feel the opening through your chest and take a little baby back bend. All you're going to do is push your hips forward. Think of your chest rising up to the sky and look up to the sky. You don't have to go very far. You take this to what is comfortable for you. Breathe into the nose. Out through the mouth. Finish. As you exhale, hinge forward. Take the opposite of that baby back bend. You're folding forward. Fingers toward the earth. Hands reach toward the earth. They don't have to touch the earth. You just let the arms hang. Tuck your chin to your chest, working the crown of your head toward the earth. Little bend in your knees. Feels pretty good. Fold forward here. All right. You're thinking, this is a know-nothing pose. Very good pose. Very important pose. You're decompressing your spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. Crown of the head to the earth. Let your neck hang heavy. Shake your neck. Loosen it up. Let it be. Tailbone high to the sky. Decompressing the spine. Breathe. Let's finish. Still your body. Tuck your chin to your chest. Roll your spine up. Think of them stacking 1 vertebra at a time. Come all the way up to standing. Take your chin off of your chest last. Let's get into the shoulders with big arm circles. Tee out your arms and start to create little circles like you're tracing them on the sides of the walls. Arms to the back of the room. Make circles. Get them bigger, bigger, bigger. As you're doing the circles, start to add in your knees. Bend the knees when the hands come down and then straighten them when the arms go up. Wake up your knees. I think this is a real important pose. Getting the bend going in the knees. Breathe. Breathe. Oh, wake up. You know, your arm circles don't have to be huge. Your knee bends. Don't have to be huge either. Just move a little bit. Take your arm circles in the opposite direction when you're ready. You're taking care of yourself. Really important. And don't be critical of yourself. You are enough as you are. You are doing enough here in this practice. You do what makes you feel right. Let's finish up. Come on up to standing. Shoulders back over your hips, eyes open or close, your choice. Let's do that big coat swing. Start to sway from side to side, looking over one shoulder, then the other. Taking a big twist here. You are in control of this twist. Arms are down by your sides and they are loose. No tension in the shoulders, no tension in the arms. Swaying from side to side. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Can you turn your head a little bit more? How does it feel? You got the twist in you. Wake it up. Slowly. Let's come on back to the midline of our body. Finish up. This is your little warm-up. If this is all you do, good on you. All right, feet, hip-width distance apart. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Hinge forward for ragdoll pose. Ragdoll pose. You're looking down to your feet. Now look to your ankles. Look to your knees. Look up towards your belly button. Little bend in your knees might feel great. Breathe. Start to sway from side to side. Right elbow toward right knee. Left elbow toward left knee. Crown of your head toward the earth. You're loosening up your low back. Breathe. All this month we're talking about living your yoga off of your mat throughout your day, doing various poses. One of the things we suggested was this ragdoll pose. Periodically, as you sit at your desk or wherever, stand up and do your ragdoll pose. Decompress your low back. It's one of our little ways of living our yoga off of our mat. Let's finish. Come back to the midline. Release your fingers to your mat. Let's come down into a child's pose. What is that? All right, child's pose. Simple pose. Bring your knees together. Bring your big toes to touch. Sink your hips back towards your heels. They don't have to sit on your heels. You just bring them on back. You could use a block or two or no blocks at all. You can place the block toward the top of your mat. You can place your forehead on it. Bring your arms down by your sides. Your fingers are reaching toward the bottom of your mat as your shoulders are away from your ears. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. An option that many of us like to take, it's up to you. Maybe you don't like to take it. An option is to spread your knees wide, having your big toes touch. Send your hips back towards your heels and reach your arms to the top of the mat. You could reach your arms to a block or two, or no blocks at all, and sink your chest down toward the earth. Hips back towards your heels, arms reaching long to the top of the mat. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Child's pose. Stay here as long as you want or come back to this anytime you want. So get it in your head what this feels like and how to do it. Crown of the head lengthens to the front, tailbone to the back, lengthening through the spine. Waking up the quadriceps, waking up the knees, waking up the ankles. Shoulders are loving the pose as well, whether your arms are extended or down by your sides. Big breath in. Big sighing breath out. Your forehead, it's on a block or your mat. Turn it from left to right. Move your neck. And remember, you can come back here anytime you want. Still your head. Lengthen through your tailbone. Push into your mat. Close your lips, and if you like, breathe in and out of your nose. It's an efficient way of breathing, and it lets you focus internally. That's where our focus is. It's inside, on you, right here, right now, nothing else. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Let it go. When you're ready, come out of your child's pose. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And let's take our forearms. Let's stretch them. Bring your fingers back towards your knees. Forearms are facing forward. We'll just wiggle your hips from side to side or back and forth. And you want to feel a good stretch in your forearms. Are you feeling it? All right, take it back as far as you like. Maybe press into the fingers and let the palms lift up. You know what feels good for you. Hello to Tammy and Liz, Lori and Stan. Yummy Chew, I'm glad you're here. Margarita, Kelly, Marietta. Hi, Connell, glad you're here. All right, thanks for practicing live. If you're practicing live or if you're practicing on later on in the day, good for you. Come to your mat and work your body from the inside out. How's the forearm stretch? Let's finish it. Bring your hands around to the front. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your wrists. Let it be. Let's do our toes pose and our ankle pose, flow. All right, so flow means we're going back and forth, kind of marrying it to the breath. All right, so for your toes pose, come to standing on your knees. Tuck your toes towards your shins. This is intense. If you have plantar fasciitis, this feels pretty good. You're breaking up the fascia in the feet and making your feet feel better. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Have a seat on your heels as best you can. You've got these blocks here that bring the ground up to you. You can have them as kind of just a little bit of security, right? We all need some security. Sit back onto your heels. It's an intense pose. If it hurts, don't do it. If it's painful and just, if it's just uncomfortable, you can stick with it. If it's painful, you want to quit. Let's say not quit, let's just say back out of it. Take it to a lesser percentage. Don't push yourself to the point of pain. If it's uncomfortable, breathe through it. You've got this. This is your toes pose. Couple of breaths here. And then we'll take it to the counter of this pose. It's to ensure the full range of motion in our strong foundation, which is an ankle pose. Tops of your feet on your mat. Use those blocks, push into the blocks. Let your knees, which are together, lift on up. All right, so you're balancing now on the tops of your feet. Breathe, lengthen through the crown of your head, balance on the tops of your feet. You're stretching out your ankles in a wonderful way that we usually don't do in our day-to-day movements, do we? But your yoga does it for you. All right, come on back to your toes pose. Stay here to what's right for you. The further back you bring your shoulders, the more intense. Take it to your ankle pose whenever you're ready. Where do you need more of it? You know, you really do know. You intuitively know. It's like that good morning stretch. It's like that pandiculation. You just kind of know. I've got to work from the inside out. I'm going to take that big stretch to wake up my nervous system. What do you know about your ankles and your foundation and your feet today? Soften into it. Trust that your body knows where to go. Just give it the opportunity. Showing up on your mat and just doing is giving it the opportunity. All right, that is your toes pose and your ankle pose flow. All right, so let's do cat-cow. All right, blocks to the top of your mat or wherever you want them, neutral tabletop position. Cat-cow pose, push into your mat, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone, arch your back to the sky. Inhale, cow pose, crown of the head, tailbone lift. Continue as shown. Exhale, cat, chin to chest, tailbone under, pressing hard into the earth. Inhale, cow, tailbone and crown of the head lift. So you're moving your spine, giving it these refined movements. Breathe, curving the spine to the shape of the letter C for the word courage, right? Excellent. And then cow pose. All right, cat-cow a few times. Move your spine. No right or wrong way. The wrong way is if it hurts. You move it to the degree that's right for you. Then when you're ready, come to a neutral tabletop. Let's do a cat pulling its tail. Lift your right leg up. Right leg up. Maybe this is where it stays. Circle the ankle a couple of times. Right leg's lifted. Bring the knee up nice and high. Nice stretch in the front of your thigh and in the front of your hip. Take your left hand. Reach around. Capture your foot. Press hard into the earth, kick hard into your back hand, feel the opening in your shoulders, look to the left side of your mat, look a little farther to the left side of your room. All right, you're saying yes to this. Good for you. You're doing your poses. Yes, yes, yes. When you say yes to challenges like this, you're also saying yes to growth, which we've been talking about, courage, and change. Change is good. Let's finish up. Bring your hand down, bring the knee down. We have another side to do. All right, so lift your left leg up. Left leg lifts. Maybe that's where you stay today. Maybe that's what your body's saying. This is as far as I want to take it. Maybe lift the knee a little bit higher. Maybe draw the heel a little more toward your bottom. Hold it here. Perhaps you take the right hand, reach around, capture your left foot. Kick into your hand, open up through your right shoulder. Send your right shoulder more to the sky as your gaze goes to the right side of your room. Remember, say yes to challenges. Then you're also saying yes to courage, to growth, and to change. It's all good. All right, that's cat pulling its tail. Let's come on down. Do a cycle of cat-cow, because you know that one now. Arch your back to the sky, push the earth away. Inhale, cow pose, you've got it. All right, find your ball if you've got it. Let's do bird dog on the ball. If you don't have a ball, that's fine. Don't sweat it. You can do it without the ball. Just the ball makes it more of a challenge. All right, I'm going to put my right knee on the ball. I'm going to draw my right toes toward my shin. I'm going to lift up through my left leg, lifting my left leg, knee to about the hip height. I'm going to send the left leg long on the mat, or on the left leg long. Lift into the left leg so the hips are equidistant to the mat. Push hard into your hands. Right knee, if you're on the ball, it's kind of wiggling a little bit, so there's your unstable surface that's creating more of a challenge for you. Right arm, reach it long to the top of your mat. Maybe reach it long to a block, or set up your blocks so you can reach and hold on and stay steady here. Reach the arm long, point the toes to the back of the room, point the fingers to the front of the room, hold it here. Breathe, push the earth away if you like, a couple of times. Elbow to knee, under the navel, and stretch. Elbow to knee, and stretch. And then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Other side. Push the ball underneath the left knee if you want. No ball at all, totally fine. Draw the left toes toward the shin to create a little kickstand on this unstable left side. Lift the right leg up, up, up. Knee to hip height. Leg extends. You can even feel right here strengthening and compression in your low back. Push into the earth. Point your toes to the back of the room today. And if you're like, when you're ready, left arm, opposite arm of the leg that's extended, let it reach to the front of the room. Elbow to knee, once or twice. If you like, that's plenty of a balance challenge, isn't it? Reach. And finish. Hands come down, knees come down. There's your bird dog pose on the ball. Okay, let's use the ball again. You can use the ball, or you can use your resistance band if you got that and you want to kick it up a notch. To use the resistance band, what you would do is tie it around your mid-thigh. We're going to do fire hydrant pose with the ball. I'm going to place the ball behind my knee. You could put a weight back there or nothing at all. You don't have to have anything. Lift the right knee up and just hover it above the earth and start to lift the right knee toward the side of the room. If you got the ball or something behind the knee, kind of helps to draw the toes toward the shin to lock it in place. Lift and lower to the side of the room like a dog on a fire hydrant. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Getting into your hips. So we've strengthened our feet a lot with our toes pose and ankle pose, right? We have worked on our hips, not only in our bird dog pose by elongating it, but in our cat-cow and pulling the tail, finding mobility there. Now we're moving even more, getting that strength going on. All right, that is your fire hydrant pose. Bring the knee down. Let's take fire hydrant to the other side. This makes it easier for those of you that have the band on. Bring the ball behind the other knee if you're using it, and start to lift and lower to the left side. Keep your gaze between your thumbs. Breathe. Try to keep your hips equidistant to your mat. Breathe. Lengthen through your tailbone and the crown of your head. You know, there are other ways we sometimes do our fire hydrant pose. Sometimes we lift the leg up and pulse it up to the sky. Today we're just lifting and lowering. We've got plenty of other things for the hips. As you're ready, let's begin to finish. How's that? Let's begin to finish with this lifting and lowering of the left leg. Hover it above the mat. Embrace the burn. Place the foot down. Remove the ball. Maybe remove the band. Knees spread wide. Hips go back. Wide-legged child's pose. Ball under your fingers if you like. Breathe. Stretch it out. That wide-legged child's pose feels pretty good here, doesn't it? All right, let's come out of this. You did your fire hydrant pose. Let's do our donkey pose, donkey kick. Okay, this is another good one for your hips. ball or nothing at all behind your right knee. Lift your right knee up, 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 nice and high. Nice and high. Check in with your hips, equidistant to the mat. Draw your heel towards your bottom. Hold it tightly here and begin, like in bar class, pulse your heel in towards your bottom. Sometimes we do this standing on a chair too, but I think many of us say we prefer doing it here in this position on all fours. Breathe, kicking the ball in, lengthen through the spine, push the earth away. Finish up with this little micro kicks to your bottom. Kick it in and hold it nice and tight. With your flat foot, pulse your foot up, up, up to the sky. Dial your right hip down a little bit. You'll feel it more in your left glutes. Strengthening the low back, working on those strong hips, working on that big ball and socket in your hip joint. Push into the earth. No sagging backs here. You got it. Courage. It is in you. You are growing. You are challenging yourself, and you are making positive changes. You really are. Let's finish. Hover the right knee next to the left. Ooh, I'm starting to feel it. Push into the earth. Plant the right knee. Take it to the other side. Put it behind your left knee now. And remember, you can do it with nothing at all. The ball, I think, just makes it a little more fun. And I'm all up for the fun, right? Lift the left knee up a little bit. Squeeze and hug the ball. Lift the left knee even higher so it's at hip height. Dial the left hip down. Start to pulse the heel in towards your bottom. Breathe. You got it. You got it. Don't quit. Don't give up. You got to go slow to go fast, right? You got to work from the ground up. Your feet are strong. Your hips are strong. You are able. You are capable. You can do this. All right, let's re-engage a little bit here. Push more into the earth. Even the top of the right foot, push it in. Dial your left hip down. Lengthen through your spine. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Little teeny pulses. You are strong. You got it. Kick your bottom good and strong. Bring that heel up towards your bottom. Then pulse the foot up, up, up to the sky. Left hip, bring it down so it's equal as the right hip is to the earth. Little pulses, little lifts of the leg up, up, up to the sky. So think of how strong you're making your low back. Many people as they get older, as we get older, have back trouble, and it's usually in the low back. We twist it, we tweak it, we do things to it that it might not like. So by doing your little warm-up, like that big coat swing, and also your ragdoll pose, and poses like this, you're strengthening your back. You're preparing it for the day ahead, from the inside out. All right. Oh my goodness. Lift it nice and high. Hold it here, and then finish. Left knee hovered above the mat. Oh my goodness. Place the left knee down. A real quick, brief child's pose. Knees spread wide, hips go back, breathe. Hands on the ball if you like, breathe. Guess what we're doing next? An overall body strengthening pose that we all love is plank. Okay, so here's the deal. Maybe grab a quick drink of water. We set a timer for 1 minute, just so you can time yourself. If you want. If you don't want, don't time yourself. Lots of ways to do plank, and I guarantee you can do plank today, because here's a variation I will suggest to you if you're fairly new to it. Come on down with control, nice and slowly to your back. Take your hands, place them on your blocks, and send your blocks up to the sky. As you push the blocks up to the sky, consciously think of drawing your shoulders back and pulling them into the shoulder sockets, because you're stable, you're strong, everything's aligned. You can stay here in your plank. That's a variation you can take. Take whatever variation you like. We do different ones during days of the week. Check us out. Pick the one you like. Today I'm going to do a more challenging one. I'm going to go from a plank, a high plank, to a down dog, and I'm going to bring elbow to knee, then knee to opposite elbow, knee to opposite elbow. All right, let's do it. Get into the position of the plank that you like. Like I said, I'm going to take a high plank. Let's begin our timer now. All right, 1 minute, here we go. I'm going to hold this high plank for a moment. You want proper alignment in your plank pose, because everything is tight and strengthened in your plank. Feet hip width distance apart, hands Arms shoulder width distance apart. Shoulders over wrists. Gaze down between the thumbs. Hold in your position, whichever one you're taking. Take breaks when you need them. I'm going to send my hips high to a down dog. From this down dog, I'm going to kick my right leg high. I'm going to bring my right knee to my right elbow or right wrist. Then I'm going to send it back up straight. We're about halfway done. I'm going to bring the foot down, down dog. I'm going to lift my left leg up. I'm going to bring my left knee to my left wrist or left elbow. Then I'm going to send it back, down dog. Then I'm going to, we have 5 seconds left. Right leg high, right knee, left elbow, send it high. 1 minute is up. But I'm going to take the left leg, even out. Left leg lifts, left knee, left wrist, or left knee to the right wrist or right elbow. Send it high. Come back to down dog, back to a high plank, and then finish. All right, we need to do a 2-minute one for that. All right, how did you do? Just shaking it up, doing something different. Come on down to your back. And what I always say is take it slowly with control. Bring your block to about your shoulder height. Hands to prayer center. Take it slowly as you lean on back. You are in control. Part of your happiness is being in control, right? You can be in control of your body. That's about it. Breathe, lengthen it up through the crown of your head and come on down. You can be in control of your thoughts and of your body. Lower your body down. Once you are down, you are fully reclined. Let's do frog crunches. All right. No, not frog crunches. Let's do Supta Baddha Konasana crunches. Soles of the feet open, knees open wide. Fingertips lightly to your temples. When you're ready, exhale the air out of your lungs. Maybe breathe out of your mouth and come on down. Little lifts, little lowers. Lift, lower, breathe. You've got it. Keep your knees open wide and your elbows open wide. Maybe you only lift once. Maybe you don't lift at all. Maybe you just stay open and fully reclined. Breathe. You can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right, so those are your little why am I saying frog crunches? Those are your Supta Baddha Konasana crunches. Bring your knees together. Send your legs long onto your mat. When you're ready, grab the block that's by your shoulders. Lift your legs on up to about 45 degrees. Peel your shoulders on up and start to move the block like you're winding string around your calves, your knees, your thighs, whatever. Breathe. Let's change it up a little bit. Lower your left leg a little bit. Keep the right leg up and just do the right leg. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let's switch it up. Lower the right leg and have the left leg up toward the sky. Circle the block around and around and around. Breathe, breathe. Bring both legs back up the way we began. Start to circle the block around and around and around both legs. Now, spread your legs a little bit. To start to do a figure 8 in between your legs. The block goes behind one leg, in front of the other, and vice versa. Breathe, breathe. You got it. You can do it. Breathe, breathe. Let's come back to the starting position. Legs together. Circle the block round and around. You can do it. And then let's finish. Send your legs long onto your mat. How did you do? Let's do a Pilates pose now called hundreds. Thank you, Joseph Pilates, for all these fabulous exercises you gave us in your program, which you called not Pilates, you called it Controlology. It's control of the body. All right, here you go. Here's for your Pilates 100s today. You're lying down, nice and straight, shoulders away from the ears. Lift your hands up. You can act as if you're patting the earth. Kick it up a notch. Maybe peel the shoulders up and pat the earth. Maybe keep the shoulders down and lift the legs up and pat the earth. Maybe put them all together, shoulders lifted, legs lifted, and pat the earth. Breathe. Idea is you do it 100 times, but we don't count. We do it as to what is right for us. Maybe for you, 5 times is right. Maybe for you, 200 times is right. Fingers reach more to the bottom of the mat. Legs lift to whatever height is doable. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Oh, you got it. You're strong. Your core is strong. Don't give up. Don't quit. Take breaks if you need them, but get back in the game. It's your game. You set the rules. Your body, you know what's right for it. You do what works for you. All right. I think that's more than 100. Come on down, arms overhead. Stretch, reach. Take a big good morning stretch. Breathe. Think of stretching from the inside out. Even yawn if you want to. Reach through your fingers, point through your toes. Big stretch. As you're ready, finish up. Come on up to seated. Find your 2 weights or 1 weight or no weight at all. All right, kind of a row your boat pose. Lean on back to what feels good for you. When your shoulders start to round, say no, I'm not doing that. Send your chest high to the sky. You can keep your feet on your mat, toes on your mat, no feet on your mat, and twist from side to side with or without the weights. All right, your rowboat pose with weights makes it a little of a different challenge. Maybe no weights is how you want to do it today. Maybe 1 weight is how you want to do it today. Twist, breathe, and enjoy. All right, finish. Come back to center. Place the soles of your feet on your mat. Place your blocks down and find your 2 blocks. Come into a surfing pose. All right, low lunge, blocks by your sides, palm or on the tall side. Right leg forward, knee over ankle. Press into your blocks. Send your left leg long. So focus now on sending your left leg long. Really, that is the focus. You want to place the top of your left foot on your mat. Maybe put that towel underneath your knee. Maybe press on up, shoulders over hips. Stay right here. Big stretch in the front of your left hip flexors. Breathe. Maybe you add in the arms. Maybe you take a baby back bend. You're stretching right here in the front of that left hip flexor. Breathe. Hands back to prayer center. Have a moment of gratitude. Come back to your saying, I can do it. Place your hands onto your blocks. Start to surf it out. That means the right leg. Just start to straighten it and then rebend it. Let the knee come forward of the ankle as you wake up that knee. Using your blocks, walk them on back. Maybe have a seat on your heels or not at all. Maybe you just bring it close to your bottom. But work on that right knee. Work on the extension and flexion of that right leg and the extension and flexion, which is doing the opposite in your left hip. All right, back and forth with the blocks. Maybe no blocks at all is another challenge. Hands to prayer center, lift. Stretch it out, surf it out. That is a strong core, right? Finish up, knees meet on your mat. Other side, let's do it. Left foot forward, knee over ankle. Press into the blocks. Focus on extending that right leg long. I'd rather you spend all the time doing this than surfing. Stretch out that hip. Lengthen up. You got it. Maybe shoulders up over the hips. That's a big move. That's a big change. Maybe arms go up. That's intensifying it even more. Baby back bend. Pretty intense. Hands to prayer center. Moment of gratitude. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Hands back to the blocks. Start to surf. Surf it out. Just straighten the left leg and then rebend it. Walk them on back. Toward your bottom if you want. Walk them on forward. Like on a surfboard, right? You got to keep getting your balance. Breathe. I'm going to do hands to prayer center. Challenging my core. Take it in layers. You know, maybe it's right to ditch the blocks, hands to prayer center, and do little movements in the left leg. You've got it. You know, you can always also fold your mat in half, creating double the padding under that knee. So many ways to do it. All right, finish up. Have your knees meet. Find your weights. Come on up to standing. Come on up. Let's do these weights. All right, we've got them in your hands, right? How are you doing? Take a drink of water whenever you need to. You are doing great. You are here. That's the big thing. And weights. Maybe you got cans from your pantry. Buy some little weights. Really need to incorporate weights. Doesn't have to be a whole lot of weights. Lift them up to the sky. Bring them back down to your shoulders. Lift and lower with the weights. Breathe. Think of that extended mountain through the arms. Remember that? And then bring it back down to your shoulders. Okay, lots of ways to do it. Maybe alternate, right? But find that strength. Maybe 3-pound weights are too much. Just little lifts, little lowers. You get the weights that are right for you. They're not very expensive. Start with 1-pound weights and don't be discouraged. Hey, that's better than doing nothing at all, right? Every little bit helps. All right, bring your weights to your shoulders. Tee out your arms with your palms face up. With your palms face up, bend the elbows and bring the weights to your shoulders. And then out. In and out. Elbows are staying wide to the sides of your room. Weights coming to the shoulders and arms are extending. Breathe. You're strengthening your upper back here. So good for your standing posture. All right, you can look to one arm. Gaze comes back when the shoulders, weights touch the shoulders, and then bring the other arm. What am I saying? Arms teed out. Arms come in. Arms tee out, look to one weight. Weights come back to the shoulders, you look forward. Arms tee out, look to the other arm. Back to center. Breathe. You can alternate your arms as well. Look to the extended arms side. You're working your forearms, you're working your biceps, you're working your triceps. It's all good. Breathe. Arms tee out. Flip them so your palms are face down. Little teeny pulses of the arms. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Chest is strong. Arms are strong. You got it. Pulse them down. Flip the arms so the palms are face up. Pulse them up. Breathe. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Palms face down. Pulse them down. You got it. Palms go up. Pulse them up. And then finish. Arms down by your sides. Give them a little bit of a break here. Shoulders away from the ears. Maybe wiggle your shoulders, pull them back, and then down. Drinking bird. Let's do that. This incorporates some balance. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. Come up onto the balls of your feet or not. Maybe you stay flat-footed. Gaze forward. Such a pose that makes you stay in the moment because you have lots going on here. Balls of your feet, you're up on them, maybe. Heels are lifted right behind your heels. Shoulders are back over your hips. Sink a little bit lower. You've got the weights in your hands. You can stay right here. If you would like, the edges, the back edges of those weights, pulse them to the back of the room. Chest is open. Breathe. You kind of feel the same sensations in both sides of your chest that you felt when you did that cat pulling its tail, right? That was one shoulder, one pectoral muscle at a time. When you're ready, pulse the weights in. Sink a little bit lower, pulsing the weights in towards your low back. Breathe. With the weights pulsed in nice and tight, pulse them to the back of the room again. If you fall out, no big deal. Regroup, rebreathe, then get right back in. Now pulse the weights in towards your low back. And then finish. Arms down by your sides. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Let your arms come out in front of you, parallel to each other, palms face up. Little teeny pulses up, up, up. Adjust your stance so you're comfortable. Pulsing the weights up. Elbows are reaching toward the bottom of the room. Fingertips are reaching toward the front of the room. Little bend, a little softness in the elbows feels good. Now still your arms. Bend your elbow, drawing your weights towards your face, towards your ears, and extend. Little bicep curls here. Maybe again here. You alternate. Breathe. You got it. You can do it. Don't give up. Let's work the triceps now. Send the weights back up to the sky. Bring them both together. Maybe interlace your fingers a little bit. Bend your elbows. Hug your biceps in near your ears. Little teeny pulses here. Little teeny pulses of the weights behind your head. Breathe. Extend the weights to the ceiling. Then bring them back and pulse. Breathe. Lift them up. Then bend them and pulse. Soften in your shoulders, strengthening the upper back, working on that great standing posture. When you're ready, bring your arms, relax them down by your sides. Let the weights feel good. Let's take a big step forward with our right leg. Warrior 3 pose with these weights. Send your left leg to dance on the back of your mat. Little softness in your right knee. Hinge forward, bringing your back and your left legs parallel to the earth as best you can. Weights are hanging here above the earth. Maybe lift a little higher in the leg. Now lift the weights to your chest with the elbows to the sides of your mat. Breathe. Place the weights down on the earth. Reach and stretch your arms forward in your warrior 3. Finish. Come back to find your weights. Bring them to your chest, elbows out, and lower again. Breathe. Finish. Weights hover above the earth. Left foot meets right. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Right leg steps back. Same pose, other side. Hinge forward into your left foot. Left knee has some sponginess to it. Arms hang down. Right leg lifts a little or more or a lot. Bringing the right leg up, parallel to your back. Weights down by the earth. Start to lift and lower them to your chest. Breathe a few times, lifting and lowering. Place the weights down. Bring it to your warrior three. Arms reach, leg stretches. Come back, find your weights. Lift them a few more times to your chest. If you fall out, no big deal. Get back on in. Finish up, weights to the earth, place them down. Right foot meets left. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Come on up to standing, hands to prayer center, tree pose. Weight into the left foot, weight out of the right. Open up the right knee to the side of the room. Find your balance here. A chair could be nearby. Foot can be kickstanded or lifted up a little higher. Grow your branches, look up to where ceiling and wall meet. Move your arms. Hands to prayer center, guide the knee to the front. Right foot meets left on the mat. Right foot roots in, left foot lifts. Knee to the side of the room. Bring the foot up, up, up to whatever speaks to you today. Grow your branches if you like. Look up, sway your branches. You got it. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Foot meets foot, fold forward. Fold forward, reach for the earth. Maybe you find you can reach the earth a little more readily now. Close your eyes, gaze, imagine your gaze going to your knees. Capture your calves, hug your elbows in, fold in half. Breathe. Release your arms as far as they'll go. Then open your eyes and see how close your fingers are to the earth. You've loosened up. You are more bendy, more stretchy, more flexible. Bend your knees. Come on down to your mat. Have a seat on your bottom. Seated forward fold. Legs are long. Toes up toward the sky. Lengthen up through extended mountain arms. Reach forward. Capture your feet. Reach toward or send your gaze toward your knees. Reach toward your feet or your calves or your shins, whatever you can reach. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Let's come into a bridge pose. Come on down. And you know what I'm going to say? With what? With control. Come on down with control. Bring your eye shade and your towel up near the top of your mat. That's a good sign, right? Bend your knees with control, with the weights in your hands. Lower down, and we're going to do bridge with our weights. Lower down, you've got the weights. Come on down, heels up toward your bottom. Weights on your hips, if you like. No weights at all is totally fine too. Press on into your strong feet. Lift your hips and come on down. Lift and lower. You've got it. Maybe work your heels up a little more toward your bottom. Lift and lower. Let your bottom touch down. Maybe let the right hip touch down. Press on up. Let the left hip touch down. Lift and alternate, kind of like little hip dips. Right hip comes down, hips go back up. Left hip comes down, hips go back up. All right, let's lift our hips nice and high and equally to the sky. Weights on your hips if you like. Root firmly into your left foot. Lift your right leg up to the sky and pulse your right leg up, up, up. Breathe. Breathe. Pulse the foot up, up, up. Push into that left foot. It's helping. You need that left foot. You need that strong foundation. Bend your right knee. Have the feet meet on the mat. Press equally into both feet. Now it's the right leg's turn to press hard into the mat as you lift your left leg up. Pulse the left leg up, up, up to the sky. You like the weights or no weights? Ditch them if you don't want them. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You got it. Left foot meets right on the mat. Pulse both hips up to the sky with or without the weights. Weights make a difference. They make it harder, but it gets you stronger. Have the courage to try. If you want to change, you got to have the courage to try. All right, finish up. Lift your hips nice and high. Slowly lower your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Keep your navel tucked to your spine. We talked about that a lot this week. Then release your tailbone on down. Ooh, you are done. But you're done with this. Roll over onto your stomach. Let's do Superman and Swimmer, two great Pilates poses. All right, what you want to do is be on your belly. Send your arms long like an extended child's pose to the top of your mat. Legs are long on your mat. Tops of your feet toward the edges of your mat. Reach through your fingertips. Think like Superman. Maybe lift one leg, then the other. Maybe lift both legs and you're essentially balancing on your pelvis. Maybe lift one arm, then the other. Or lift all four limbs. Hold it here. Reach. Fly like Superman. Then take it to Swimmer. Just start to kick your feet. Kick your feet like you're swimming. Breathe. Thank you, Joseph Pilates, for such a great pose to strengthen our spines. Breathe. That's your swimmer pose. When you're ready, take your hands, bring your hands underneath your collarbones. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Press into your strong arms. Lift on up like you're doing a push-up. Soften in your backside. Soften in your backside in your seal pose. Come on up. Come on up, standing on your knees. Standing on your knees. Place a block between your two heels. Hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows to the back of the room. Look on up. Take that little like baby back bend, essentially. And it's called your camel pose. Gentle camel pose. Look on up to the sky. Maybe release your left hand. Reach it toward your left heel. Right arm goes high. Breathe. Reach. As you're reaching through your right fingers up to the sky, maybe reach to the back of the room. Bring it on back up to the sky. Slowly bring your shoulders up over your hips. Turn back to the starting position. Place your hands on your low back again. Fingers down. Elbows squeezed towards your spine. Reach. Take that baby back bend. Staying right here is perfect. Maybe you release your right hand to your right heel. Left arm reaches high. Reach. And then maybe reach to the back of the room. Bring the arm back up. You come on back up, shoulders over your hips. Bring your hands behind your low back. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Press your hips forward. You got it. Shoulders over your hips. Let's release. Come on down. Remove the block. Come on down to your back. And let's do our supine twist. Bend your right knee. Hug the right knee in. We did this earlier. Remember when we did our fire hydrant pose and our donkey kick, working on the hips. So we're going to finish up working on the hips. Send your left leg long. Drive the left heel to the bottom of the mat. Circle your ankle as a nod to a thanks to your strong foundation. Hug the right knee in. Supine twist. Right knee is guided by the left hand across the midline of the body. Roll onto your left hip. Right arm tees out. Keep the shoulder down and look to the right. Oh, this is a good stretch. Feel the stretch from the inside out. Bring the hip down. Right knee, hug it in again. Circle the ankle because you can. Send the right leg long on your mat. Right heel drives a couple inches farther down to the mat. Feel it back again in your right hip flexor. Bend the left knee. Interlaced fingers, or use your towel if you can't quite use your interlace your fingers. Hug it in. Hug it in, squeeze it in, and stay right there. Squeeze it in, good and tight. You got more space in your hips. Find it. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of the body as you roll onto your right hip. Left arm, tee it out, and look to the left. Breathe. Left hip comes down, left knee, hug it in. Circle the ankle a couple times, maybe squeeze and scrunch the toes. You got a strong foundation. When you're ready, left leg goes long. Left leg towards the bottom of your left side of your mat, right leg toward the bottom of the right side of your mat. So just spread it out a little bit and come into your final Shavasana. Find your eye shade or your towel. Cover the eyes with one or the other. Arms down by your sides. And we mentioned the other day how palms face up, which is a signal for receptivity, for being open for new changes. Palms face down, and this even you really feel this internally, right? Palms face down, you feel as if you're getting more grounded. Let's come into our final Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. We'll get our Shavasana music and breathe. Breathe deeply. Let go of any tension. Let go of any doubt. I know that's more easily said than done, isn't it? But just for a moment, you've got the power in your mind. Nobody knows what you're thinking. Let go of that which is holding you back. Have the courage to think good thoughts. Breathe in. Let it all go out. Breathe in. Release all negativity as you breathe out. You hold tension without even realizing it. Right now, think about the area between your eyebrows. Soften it a little bit more. You are holding on to tension there. Your shoulders. Let them sink even more into the mat, even more away from your ears. Let them go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay here longer if you like. It's your practice. You do it your way. And hold the poses as long as feels right for you today. Listen to that inner voice. It's time for you to wrap up the hour. Start with your feet. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. And while you're doing your feet, do your hands too. Squeeze and scrunch and wiggle your fingers. Work it up to your wrists and your ankles. Move them. Find that range of motion. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. And one of the ways we've been living our yoga off the mat, think of a good morning stretch. Reach high overhead. Stretch it out like it's your first big good morning stretch. Yawn if you want to. Also, as you wake up your nervous system from the inside out to prepare for your day. Fetal position, bend your knees, bend your elbows, roll onto one side or the other. Use your low arms. Bicep is a pillow for your head. Close your eyes. Savor this breath, savor this moment. You got it. As you're ready, slowly press on up. Be conscious, are you using your hands or not? It's okay to use your hands. Just know that you've chosen to use your hands. Come on up to seated. Sit however is comfortable for you. Hands to prayer center. Take that deep breath in, lengthen up through your spine. You are powerful, you are strong, you are courageous. You got all this good stuff going on. Believe it. As you exhale, soften. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, blink your eyes open. You did it. You did a 1 hour long, fairly difficult practice that combined your Pilates, your bar, your weights. I am glad that you guys are here. Princess Jasmine, I'm glad that you are here. Elizabeth, Kelly, Marietta, Nina, David, I'm glad you guys could join us. All right, remember in the beginning we took a stress number. It's the most quantifiable way we can measure this stuff. What was your stress number then, and what is it now? How you feeling? How do your shoulders feel? How do your hips feel? Go out and go for a walk. Enjoy some sunshine. When you say yes to challenges, like coming to yoga, like maybe getting out of bed today, like when you say yes to challenges, you're also saying yes, yes to growth, yes to courage, and yes to positive change. All right, y'all. From us to you, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. Look at her. Pandiculation, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Bye. Bonnie, you're just in a restorative practice all on your own. Oh, but there's the yawn.